Barkeep. My name's Curtis. We did a little sampling, a little spotlight of the Sagamore rye 10-year. Did phenomenal. And then I was like, do I have more 10-year ryes? And apparently I got a handful. We got a sample. We got a personal favorite. We got a unicorn. We got new kid on the block. How's it stack up? Sagamore Spirit, their 10-year rye is kind of blowing up. It is delightful. It is the perfect proof at this point. 10 years, $80. Yes, please. There's other stuff out there. How do you choose sometimes? Is the higher price stuff worth it? Is there just better stuff at a similar price point? We shall see. This one's coming with a sample provided by one of Bourbon Barkeep's favorite people, outside of Jacob. Don't let me forget you, Jacob. This one, Big Tom, we're texting back and forth. He's like, hey, I got some new bottles. And I'm like, yeah, let's do this. One of them just so happened to be Heaven's Door, their Decade series. Series 2 was actually a 95.5 rye. 100 proof, $100. I'm like, could this fit into a house call Wednesday? Absolutely. Are we going to look weird with a tiny bottle up here? Apparently we're going to do that too. Knob Creek 10-year rye. This one, new on the scene, did not get the fanfare that I felt it deserved. For $70, this one going to be kind of that barely legal rye mash bill. But $70, 100 proof, and we'll just say above 51% rye. I thought it was delicious. Now granted, this one seems to be a little more on the bourbon lovers rye. Nothing wrong with that. That's kind of my wheelhouse, especially when we started this year. Now, the unicorn, the one everybody's chasing, the one that could be maybe slightly overpriced, depending on who you talk to. Michter's 10-year. This one coming in with an undisclosed mash bill. This one also going to be our lowest proof of it at 92.8 proof. You know, it's a delicate flower. You let it bloom, and then sometimes you're like, for over $200, can you give me just thicker juice, more oily juice, if you will? Now, belle of the ball, the reason why we're all here, Sagamore rye 10-year coming at 110.8 proof, $80. This one, mash bill wise, undisclosed technically, but we do know it's a blend of high rye, so let's say close to 95.5, and a low rye mash bill. So maybe we mix these together. Hear me out. Well, we'll miss on proof. We may not do that, but we shall see. We got the specs out of the way. Now let's just see which one is worth the buy or chase, depending on if you're into unicorns. We are poured, we are shuffled, and as you can see, if you've tuned into previous blinds, we're growing over here. Part of it was due to there really was a fifth 10-year rye that I could squeeze into here. Old Overhold. It's kind of like 2 years ago at this point. It was cast strength. I was like, does it fit? And I said, no, let's be better. Let's keep this thing under 20 minutes. That being said, we're going to go over like the highlight tasting notes. We may not dive that deep. This is not a spotlight. This is what's better. So let's see if I can accept my own challenge at this point. So we got glass A. See if we stick with that. On the nose. Let's see, where do we go from here besides drinking great rye whiskey? Honey, orange. I was gonna go caramel and I was like, that orange is raging through here. Nice honey, orange, vanilla. I realize that these are all rye. They're varying mash bills. I don't necessarily gravitate towards like this real earthy dill one. This one, glass A at least, not going that route, going nice sweetness to it. I'll try and communicate at least like how rye forward some of this is for the bourbon fan, the whiskey fan that's like, I don't know if I want to dip my toe into it. This one, I would say the rye, at least on glass A, seems to be peeled back, not in a bad way, just slight mint, but going definitely on like this nice sweet orange vanilla honey trail. Let's get it on the palate. Ooh. It's pretty good. Like that one. Like that one a lot. Lighter brown sugar. I don't think it has like this darkness for the dark brown sugar, at least on sip one. Nice light brown sugar. That honey, orange peel still pulling through. A little more tea on the palate. It's not bad. Not bad. Prickles the tongue, which you're kind of expecting on some of these ryes. Overall, coats the palate. Pretty decent. Wouldn't say floods the palate, but hangs around a good bit. Let's go sip two, see what else comes out. Really enjoyable. It does kind of take me to like a sick day, to where like you have this tea, you got your honey, got some orange peel, just a little spritz on there. You're just praying God just takes the sickness from your body. You're like, why did my 2-year-old do this to me again? Overall, really enjoyable. At least as it sits on the palate, those kind of clove and anise does start to come out, which you do kind of expect, at least on most of the ryes, for how my palate kind of handles them. Good finish, nice black pepper, so not going into your kind of typical cinnamon if you're a bourbon guy. Overall, enjoyable, almost refreshing with this nice brightness. That spearmint definitely kind of hangs around. One where you're like, if you're trying to like just sneak a sip and then you crawl into bed, and you're like, it's just mouthwash. Maybe you could get away with it. I wouldn't put it to the test, but just maybe, if you are that daring. But odds are against you, regardless. Wife has the nose of a bloodhound. All right, glass B. Whew. Good for you. A lot of grape, apricot, mint in here too, which once again, I'm not big dilly guy, but I am big mint guy when it comes to ryes, so kind of pumped about it. This one going more like orange juice. Like I felt like glass A had like the orange peel, that orange oil, nice freshness. This one kind of coming with like an orange juice, which I swear that does smell different, but like there's a richness to it. But that great apricot, caramel, vanilla. Yeah, really enjoyable. Just that sprig of mint on there. Yes, please. Let's get on the palate. Oh, goodness. Man, that's good. Peach tea. It's just peach Arizona tea. Shout out to you guys. Through inflation and COVID and everything, still 99 cents. This is peach sweet tea. Nice sweetness without the aluminum. So you're kind of pumped about it. Kind of lemon peel starting to come out a little bit here, but great baking spice on it. Ultra sweet, very oily, to where this one coated the palate pretty well. It felt like just kind of hung around well. This one has an oiliness to it that I'm excited about. Sip two. Once you get around this beautiful sweet tea with just a mint sitting on top of maybe some Sonic ice, and if you don't have Sonic ice, then I don't even know what to compare it to, but it's kind of crushed, but not crushed. It's pebbles, but the right size pebbles. Anyways, you got that nice sprig of mint on there, if I didn't say that already at this point. But there's like this nice kind of black pepper, or maybe even like a ginger. I think when you start getting into mint and that rice spice, I have a tough time going between black pepper and like a nice clean ginger. So I could see this kind of going into maybe like a ginger cookie, if you will, with kind of this nice molasses down back there. Overall, really impressed. Enjoy this one quite a bit. All right, moving right along. Don't know what the pace is. Hopefully it's good for you, because I feel like I'm talking more. Whew. I like this one too. This one going more like lemon peel. I feel like we were going orange juice, lemon peel. Yeah, this has a nice vanilla, maybe even like vanilla custard, lemon peel, a little honey. Still very fruity nose. Those are the ryes that I do really appreciate. Lemon, a little orange. This one I would say has a little red fruit too. A little nice cherry, maybe medicinal cherry. A little strawberry in there. And yeah, I'm gonna stick with vanilla honey. Stretching for mint, I don't know. Maybe it's in my mind. Maybe the other two are influencing it. Let's get it on the palate. See if mint's there, at least on the palate. Great cream soda, kind of this nice creme brulee kind of going on. Very creamy if you're getting the gist at this point. But I feel like that nice toasted sugar is great on there. I feel like there's this nice kind of like lemon lime going on. Maybe I'll stick with the soda and just kind of go with like a nice starry. I don't know why they call it that. I just hate that name, but here we are. Boy, good. Actually, as it hangs around, I feel like this is one of the first times to where I'm really picking up this nice rich kind of oak influence on it with a nice mint. So I understand they're all 10 years. I don't feel like I've been saying oak really at all. This one I feel like was one of the first ones to where oak is starting to come out. Sip 2, see if it continues. Creamy. I don't know why I would want a whiskey to be creamy, but I'm kind of here for it right now. Creamy, that vanilla custard, creme brulee. There's this nice butterscotch sweetness to it that I'm really liking. But this one tastes like a soda fountain. It's like a cream soda, but that lemon lime kind of brings me into, we'll go Sprite, just so we're kind of raking in all the sponsors at this point, obviously. And then it kind of sits on the palate and develops into this great kind of allspice, kind of nutmeg, and a little bit of mint on the back end. And nice oak. This one's tough, not gonna lie to you. When you sign up for some of these, you're like, I can't wait to taste these. And then you're like, I gotta rank them too. Okay. All right, glass D, right? We did letters, yeah. This one has a nice citrus too, almost like a red grapefruit. Oh, I love a good red grapefruit. Let's do this. Little cherry, vanilla. Man, that red grapefruit's great. Nice orange in there, but like still going into like candied, so maybe a ruby red grapefruit, candied orange slice. Really digging this nose, very fruit forward. Kind of, if Hard Truth was in here, it does kind of remind me of Hard Truth. A little less tropical, but very fruit forward. Peach, apricot, but it is very dominated by like this nice citrus of grapefruit and orange, a little lemon in there. Let's get on the palate and see. That's impressive too. That great ruby red grapefruit kind of continues. Cherry, overall, actually pretty oily. Coats the palate pretty well. This one probably the most sour. As it kind of develops, it goes into more like lemon head, actually. So a lot of tartness on the back, but overall, really enjoyable. This one, a little more herbal. You have that allspice, kind of clove starting to come out, pretty pronounced as it sits and develops, but pretty silky. Nice vanilla, and I'm gonna go honey with this one too. Let's get sip 2, clear out these guys, give it its fair shot. I feel like this one, I really enjoy the tasty notes. If I was going to poke holes into this one, I feel like at least based off of it being potentially last and being influenced, the balance is a little out of whack on it, mainly due to just kind of this amount of citrus and amount of like vanilla and honey, to where I wish it would kind of bring me into either like some baking spice or bring me something to kind of level out more of that sweetness. But this is one of the few pours that I've ever had that has a great ruby red grapefruit to it, and I'm really digging it. The mouthfeel, very good. Overall, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with the lineup. I'm going to do a quick revisit, see if I can rank these things somehow, give some final thoughts, and see if we're under 20. The revisit was tough. A lot of this obviously is going to be due to preference, so I'll try and give kind of some of the reasoning behind it. I would say the difference between 4, 3, and 2 kind of came down to feeling, preference. I was really torn between 1 and 4 on getting 4th place. I felt like 1 had a bit more rye tasting notes in terms of clove and anise and allspice. that when you're drinking a rye, you expect not ones that I really overly gravitate towards. Glass D, I would say, was really intriguing, but it was lacking some of the depth that I felt like Glass A had. So, last place, fourth place, third runner-up to first place, depending on if you're a participation trophy family or not. We're going to go with the... Sorry, Tom. It had nothing to do with bottle design that you donated. In fact, being free probably helped it. But really intriguing tasting notes with it being 95.5. I don't feel like I would have guessed it was 95.5. Really intrigued on the citrus, mouthfeel, pretty decent finish at 100 proof. I am surprised at the lack of depth at the $100 price point. So I'm not grading prices or anything like that, but I feel like that needs to be said for the other people out there. At $100, that's going to be a tough stretch. Unless you're a big grapefruit fan, then you found your bottle. Now, as I mentioned, kind of spoiler alert, I guess, Glass A. Oh, wow. I did not think that guy. For how rye forward, or at least the heavy rye tasting notes, I did not have a lower rye mash bill in my mind there. Great richness. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. We'll wrap this guy up. Let's see. Where am I at here? All right. 2 and 1. Second and first. This one was extremely difficult, and I have a pretty good feeling what I ranked. Mainly because of the proof and finish. So if that doesn't give it away, we'll do it this way. For second and first place, did I rank Sagamore Rye too low on the spotlight? Possibly. I have been on record, to be fair, saying that the Michter's 10, it's a tough pull of the trigger at $200. Is it very good once you forget how much you spent? Yes. It is creamy, coating, does punch a little bit above 92 proof. You would guess closer to 98, I guess. But I think the girth that Sagamore is able to do at 110.8 proof. No, I'm not a big proof hound, but I think the experience was just a lot better. Now, granted, if you're going with this nice creme brulee and citrus, then you're not going to agree, and that's perfectly fine. Maybe you'll go Heaven's Door. But in terms of like this gray kind of apricot, peach, baking spice, root beer stuff with a great chest feel and great oily mouthfeel, they could have charged $100 and been perfectly justified. So this one shocked me. Definitely had that one being a little bit better. And I don't know how shocked I am by Michter's losing. I do think the proof holds it back, but very good bottle. Just 200. That's a tough ask. There you go. I'm gonna label it a must buy. The Sagamore, not the Michter's. So enjoy.